Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is Golden MF, Michael Fletcher, alongside Anthony Florio, Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock. I apologize for the late start. It was due to work commitments beyond my control. However, we are set to go for the Cerebral Smack Talk. We only got one thing on the docket tonight, Smackdown Live, and that's what we're going to cover right here, right now, as Smackdown Live was from the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana tonight, exclusively on the USA Network. We started it off with a promo segment by Randy Orton, and oh man, well, you wanted the Viper, you wanted the Legend Killer, you wanted the heel, Randy Orton. You got him in spades, guys. You got what you wanted, and this is. If you're a fan of Randy Orton as a heel, you are probably eating this up. This was as good of a promo by Randy Orton, probably one of the most strongest promos he's done in a very long time. And let me tell you, I okay, me as the Orton mark, this is my attitude. This is that basically I don't give a you know what about anything or anybody. And this is kind of that attitude, that cerebral attitude that Randy Orton brought tonight is kind of a little bit of what I would bring to the table, you know, as far as character wise. So this was great. I loved it. I was hooked from beginning to end. Anthony Floyo, come on in, give me your thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, I mean, you're absolutely right. I got to say, this was the second best segment of the night. This was a great promo. The shots felt like they had layers of reality to them. And heel Randy Orton is as cool and evil as we expected. And this was a vintage Randy Orton heel promo. I mean, I think this heel turn was necessary, and let's see what happens. And we still think it's going to be him, Nakamura, and Hardy in a triple threat for the U.S. title at SummerSlam. But we got a ways to build that up. But other than that, I mean, great promo, like I said. This to me was the second best segment of the night. So nothing more to say, really. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this vintage Randy Orton heel promo that we kind of had a little. Yeah, we really much enjoyed this during our SmackDown chat tonight.
Yeah, we certainly did, and this is vintage Randy Orton as a heel. This was almost like his way of saying, "I don't give a damn about what you think about me." I mean, he said, "Where is the respect that I deserve?" I mean, I've been around for 15, 16 years, and and this was basically. I mean, and why don't you have a face paint like Jeff Hardy or anything like Jeff Hardy? But either way, if he does come back, I'm gonna make sure he's on the shelf for good. I mean, this was a short but sweet vintage Randy Orton heel promo, and I was thinking of Michael Fletcher during this whole thing because this is the Randy Orton that he loves when he's because when Randy Orton's bad, he is really bad. So yeah, and I agree with Anthony Florio on this one. I still think it's going to be a triple threat match for the United States Championship at SummerSlam with Orton, Nakamura, and Jeff Hardy. So yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So yeah, Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson, come on in, and I just got to ask you, how did Callie feel about Randy Orton?
She slept through it, but this is Tiger. This is
Oh,
the one that
Tiger.
was. This is the one that was crying through Elias last night.
Oh boy. Well, how did Tiger feel about Randy Orton being that that Randy Orton that we've known for a long time.
I think he scared because he wasn't around.
Maybe what Randy Orton said maybe must have made Tiger hide.
Maybe. I don't know. He's still the baby. He's only about a year and a half, so he's still little. But yeah, I agree. It was the second best segment of the night. Definitely, you know, heel Orton all the way. I mean, there's just no question about it that he was out there with a purpose, and that purpose is to cause as much destruction and as he can. So, um, yeah, more than likely we probably will have a triple threat. But we'll just kind of have to see how this plays out in the next few weeks as we lead up to SummerSlam. So, Fletch, back to you.
Very well, guys, and we start out with the first fight of the evening, as it was Andrade Cien Almas goes one-on-one with Rusev. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 9 minutes and 32 seconds, Andrade Cien Almas gets the victory. This actually turned out to be quite a ruckus, because not only did you have the guys inside the ring going at it, but let's say it, Zelina Vega and the Ravishing Russian Lana, well, they broke out into a cat fight! Cat fight! Yeah, a cat fight
God,
broke
I was
out.
waiting for that.
Well, it broke out, and when it was all said and done, El Idolo gets a big victory over the former number one contender for the WWE Championship about a month ago. Anthony Floyo, it's all yours. Andrade Cien Almas, impressive again.
Absolutely. I can't deny that at all, MF. I mean, fun match. I love the ending and the opening. It creates for a breakup storyline, even if we really don't want to see Lana and Rusev kick Aiden out. But, I mean, I could easily say this was the fight of the night for my taste. I mean, I could easily give this about 3.5 stars. I mean, because this was a really good match, and I'll even go as far as to call it the fight of the night. I mean, this was a very, very good match here tonight. And I'll tell you what, you talk about Andrade Cien Almas. I mean, I came across something just a little bit ago that I think MF's going to be very happy when I tell him about this. There's talk that Andrade Cien Almas is in line for a big push following his match with AJ Styles on last week's show. According to one of the great dirt sheet sites of all time, PW Insider, his match with AJ Styles impressed a lot of people backstage, and it could lead to good things for him. So read into that what you will. Take it with a grain of salt, but based on his impressive performance against AJ last week, Andrade Cien Almas could be in line for a very big push. So, MF, I see your mic is off. Is there something you want to?
No, just keep going. Keep going.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. But anywho, like I said, this was the fight of the night. 3.5 stars. Like I said, this was a damn good match, and Bullock and I had a lot of fun with this during our SmackDown chat, especially with Zelina and Lana's cat fight. I mean, we instantly thought of MF going into Joey Styles mode during that. I mean, that would, if MF had been with us, it would have been vintage MF on that one. But nonetheless, like I said, this was a damn good match, and great near falls. I mean, the ending was a little rough, but other than that, that's the only nitpick. That was a damn good match, and so that's all I can say on that. 3.5 stars, fight of the night. So, Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this. And how about that? How about that little bit of investigative reporting I just broke a minute ago? Almas could be in line for a big push after his impressive outing with AJ last week.
boy, I mean, you can't blame him after some of the outings he's had lately, especially with AJ Styles, and then of course tonight with Rusev. And I agree. I think this was about a 3 to 3.5 star match. I mean, the action I thought was really good. I mean, Andrade Cien Almas continues to impress me. I mean, I'll tell you what, guys. I mean, ever since they put Zelina Vega with Andrade Cien Almas, he's been getting better and better every day. And I can see why WWE wants to give him a big push. And who knows, maybe a WWE title shot somewhere down the line. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But man, I mean, this match was good, and and then of course Zelina Vega and Lana going at it in a cat fight. And as soon as that happened, Florio and I immediately thought of a Fletch right away. As soon as it happened, and obviously Aiden English coming down and obviously causing the distraction, and obviously this is going to lead to a breakup with Aiden English and Rusev. So we'll wait and see how it all plays out. But other than that, 3 to 3.5 stars, and based on everything that went down tonight, I have to say this was the fight of the night. So, Didi Woodson, your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I'll agree with the rating. My one question is: has anybody else noticed that Lana's accent is dropping? I mean, the last time we had somebody's accent drop that was that noticeable was Kofi. So now she's majorly dropping hers, which of course we all know she doesn't really have a Russian accent. She's actually from Florida. But yeah, the segment after it was really kind of important because Rusev pretty much kind of fired both of them, I guess you can say, in a way of being at ringside. So not much more I have to say about it. So Fletch, it's yours.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, tonight, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but we got a couple of cutouts on this show. Yeah, I know it. Ridiculously Raw. You expect it. Not on Smackdown Live, not on the Cerebral Smack Talk. However, we got to do it. First one we got was Samoa Joe going one-on-one with R-Truth. Samoa Joe beats R-Truth in 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Obviously, this was practically a squash. We knew this was going to happen because, Samoa Joe is looking strong. He's giving himself a number one contender for the SmackDown, the big belt on SmackDown, the WWE Championship. We'll get into that in a little bit. Then the next thing we had here was Asuka going one-on-one with iconic member Billie Kay, which is Anthony's girl. And Asuka wins the match in 3 minutes and 2 seconds. So obviously easy calls on both fronts, to say the very least. Then we had was a segment. So it started with Paige, and she was going to give all the props, all the love to all the women, because of the WWE Evolution show that's coming up in October. And she also made the announcement that she brought AJ Styles out. So this was the moment we all were waiting for. This was the moment we were predicting, okay, who's going to be the challenger for AJ Styles? Before we can get anything, James Ellsworth came out and kind of was smoozing with Paige to be the one to get the opportunity at the WWE Championship. Well, after some consideration, obviously that wasn't going to happen. And then the next thing that happened was AJ got jumped by Samoa Joe. Keep the clutch and choked him out. And then the two things that I couldn't believe had happened. Joe signs the contract. Paige has selected Samoa Joe to be the one to fight AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. It is on. All right, I believe this goes to Michael Bullock. So, Bullock, AJ Styles has an opponent. The Samoa Submission Machine, Samoa Joe, and they're gonna rumble at the Barclays.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, I mean, Paige, like you said, basically brings out AJ Styles, and we're waiting to see who the opponent was, and then all of a sudden, that little dink James Ellsworth comes out and says he should be the one to wrestle AJ Styles for the title because he says, "Oh, I beat him 3 times." Yeah, fluky victory, you dumbass. Yeah, and then he tries to convince, continues to fool around with Paige, and then Paige says, "You know what? Well, the 2 most famous words came out that made me, and I'm pretty sure everyone here at the Wrestling Forum jumped for joy. I'm going to do this in the immortal words of one Mr. McMahon. James Ellsworth, you're fired. Yes, 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 yes. James Ellsworth is gone, and all I can say is, thank goodness. We don't have to deal with that little dink anymore. We don't have to deal with that chinless freak anymore. Goodbye, James Ellsworth. I really hope the door does hit you in the ass on the way out of the building. Well, security basically threw him out, and that was the best sight I've ever seen. It made me the happiest person on the face of the earth. I mean, to see James Ellsworth gone, oof. And then, just as Paige was having to deal with James Ellsworth, out comes Samoa Joe, puts the Coquita clutch on him, signs the contract, and it is on. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. The history with these two, going back to their days at TNA, they've had a lot of great matches there. I've heard about it from Fletch and Florio. Well, it's now being brought to WWE at the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. And I guarantee you that's going to be one of the fights of the night at SummerSlam. So this was a really good segment. So Dee Woodson, we got the title match at SummerSlam, and James Ellsworth is gone. Or shall I say, be gone.
Well, I'm going to correct you one little part on how James Ellsworth was thrown out of the building. He wasn't thrown out of the building. They placed him at the door, and Paige kicked him out of the building. So,
yeah, I love that, especially with the heel she was wearing.
The exclamation point was put on it, very much so. Which, as you can see now, I've got Callie, so she's out here because of her namesake.
Callie must have been really happy about James Ellsworth being gone, because I'm sure she would have loved to get her paws on him.
Oh, she loves watching Paige. That much is for sure. She likes watching Paige. Yeah, don't you, baby? But yeah, this was definitely a very well done segment. Ellsworth coming out thinking that he has a chance. Yeah, right. The little turtle face chinless weasel out there. He got exactly what he deserved. And especially right before the match that follows this segment, which also put a nice little smile on my face. So I'm very glad that it was Samoa Joe. I'm with the guys. I've seen a lot of Joe and Style matches, and I can't wait to see this one. I agree with Joe from the segment that follows. The backstage segment follows this. Paige may have had her way planned of how this goes, but Joe definitely made it more phenomenal doing it the way he did it, coming out and making his presence known the only way Joe knows how to do it. So, AJ, get ready because Joe's going to kill you. So, Fletch, it's yours.
As good as you can do it. As good as you can do it. Okay. I don't mind the firing of James Ellsworth. You knew that was probably going to be a one-off. It wasn't going to be much of a long time or whatever. So I don't mind the firing. I don't mind him leaving or whatnot. I think that's the best way to say it. But let me just say it like this: Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, get ready. That's all I'm going to say. You guys have seen great battles, great wars, great everything. Back in the day of the, I guess you could say back in the day of Impact Wrestling or TNA. And let me tell you guys, this is going to be amazing. So it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. This is going to blow the box out of the Barclays. We're in for something really special, guys. Really special. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
I'm surprised you didn't do your infamous WWE Network "shut up and take my money" bit after that, but nonetheless, I mean, we're all in agreement here. This was the segment of the night. I mean, when Ellsworth got involved, I'll be honest with you. During our SmackDown chat, when we saw Ellsworth, Bullock was originally contemplating saying to UMF, "Make this a cutout" because of Ellsworth. But then once Paige fired him, and then once you got Samoa Joe in there and the whole 9 yards, I'm like, "You still want to make this a cutout?" He's like, "Nope, I'm good." All right, good. So, but anyways, wow, awesome, just awesome. Say what you want about James Ellsworth, but he and Joe killed it here, but in very, very different ways. I mean, we got the match that we were all expecting. I mean, I'm not at all surprised. I mean, we knew we were going to get it, and now it's official. Ellsworth is gone, and yeah, Ellsworth's gone, and we're getting AJ and Joe. Like everybody else here, I'm great with all of this. Matter of fact, I'm not just great with it. I'm wonderful with this, and I'm delightful with this. So, yes, indeed. What a great moment here. I mean, Bullock mentioned it, the rivalry. Yes, I have told Bullock many of times during our chats about the AJ and Joe rivalry. MF and I, along with Derek Ferreira, I mean, we know about AJ and Joe's history in TNA back when they were battling for the X Division Championship. And, of course, they've also had a couple of here and there battles for the World Heavyweight Championship. But the X Division bouts were especially memorable. Of course, those two and Christopher Daniels, the Unbreakable Three-Way, which to this day remains the greatest match in TNA Impact history. You got to go and look that fight up, and if you ever get a chance to see it, I mean, you'll know why it's the greatest match in Impact history, 5-star classic and beyond. So I don't know if it'll be a 5-star. I mean, we can only pray that it'll be a 5-star. when it comes to the SmackDown Live side of things, this will far and away be the fight of the night on their end, without a doubt. I am hopeful that this newest dream match, hopefully this ends up delivering in spades like AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura should have, especially the Mania bout. But you know, it is what it is. But my progressive rating, initial rating for this match, I'm leaning. I think it could be a 4 to 4.5 if it's booked correctly and if it's given the proper amount of time. We all want to see it be a 5. I mean, these guys are capable of 5 easy, based on their bodies of work. So the phenomenal forearm and the muscle buster for the devastating moves, and of course their 2 submission specialties, the calf crusher versus me and Bullock's favorite submission hold, the coquita clutch. I mean, we that's another one of our funny bits that we do during our chats. So yeah, so man alive, this is gonna be hella fun. So segment of the night, without question. Get ready, Brooklyn, and especially our dear friend here on YouTube, Luigi PS3, who I would kill to have on either this show or Ridiculously Raw. I mean, I'm wondering what's going through her mind right now, because she is from Brooklyn, so I'm wondering if she's gonna be. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be going to that. So if she's gonna be there, I can only imagine what that young lady's gonna do when AJ and Joe get out there. So man, it's gonna be awesome. So segment of the night. Nothing more to say, MF. Let's move on.
From the segment of the night to one of the most highly anticipated matches of the evening. This was the one that was promoted pretty heavily. Becky Lynch, one-on-one with SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella. If Becky wins, she gets the opportunity to fight Carmella at SummerSlam for the SmackDown Women's title. The winner of the bout in 9 minutes and 46 seconds is the Irish Last Kicker, Becky Lynch. She wins it with the disarmer tap out victory, meaning she will indeed be getting the opportunity at the SmackDown Women's title at SummerSlam. Oh my. I believe this goes to Dee Woodson. Yeah, our resident expert when it comes to the women's division. Becky did it. She gets her shot at the title at the hottest night of the summer in the Barclays.
Like I said, this match is kind of tied to the AJ Styles segment just because of Ellsworth. When I saw Ellsworth being kicked out of the building, knowing that this match still had to come, like I said, I was already grinning because Carmella doesn't have her little ace in the hole because he just got fired. And the segment after AJ Styles, she was telling Paige how she felt about it, of course, and so now we get to this match, and wow, I mean, she went full force trying to beat Becky Lynch, but sorry, Carmella, slaps across the face will not get you anywhere. Yeah, Carmella had a few good moves, but she also had a lot of stuff you would see in from a beginner, that like the slaps across the face, you know, the moves that just don't really get you anywhere. But you know, she did have a strong showing. But Becky, of course, as she has in every match she's done up to this point, she has put the exclamation point on it, and she has won with her disarmer. And you know, I'm very pleased to see Becky win. Very pleased to know now that we have this match for the SummerSlam card. And Carmella, I have one more thing to say to you, sweetheart. There's no crying in wrestling, so don't go up the ramp holding your title, cradling it, and crying because you have to face Becky Lynch one more time. No. Just face it. Be a big girl, step up there, and just take the match. Alright. If you get defeated, no big deal for you because you get a rematch. But for us, it's a big deal because we want you out, babe. Go back to Staten Island and be your little princess. So, my rating, let's see, I think I had 2 3/4 to 3 stars for the rating. So, Fletch, it's yours.
I'll agree with that. I'll go with the 2 3/4. This was a good match. This was a great fight. This was a solid battle. At the end of the day, obviously Becky Lynch gets the big victory. She gets the golden ticket to go to SummerSlam now, and she will fight for the SmackDown Women's title. And I truly believe now more than ever, I think we're gonna get a new champion. Obviously, with the Evolution show now imminent, or that's gonna happen in October, and of course, Anthony came across a dirt sheet saying that there's a very good possibility that both Carmella and Alexa both might lose their respective titles prior to the pay-per-view. This probably would be the best opportunity and the best moment to see a title change, to see Becky Lynch win the title, go to this Evolution show with the belt in tow, would be a big deal, and then we'll wait and see what happens at that point. But no, this was an amazing matchup. It was a good fight, solid match. Definitely shined, and I gotta say, out of all the women, Carmella does work a lot better with the more known talent, with a Charlotte, with a Asuka. Now they put her with Becky, and yeah, there was a couple of clunky moments, a little bit. There was some moments where it was a little off. There was some miscues, but it was a lot more sharper than in any other battle, and I kind of feel like this good chemistry between Becky and Carmella that it made the fight believable than with some of the other women that they battled with. So I definitely cannot wait to see the SummerSlam fight now. And it's almost obviously people are going to give Becky the odds-on favorite to win the belt now, but do they strap her? That's the big question. Maybe is the key word. Would we love to see Becky get the belt back? Absolutely. No doubt about it. I think we're all in agreement. We want Becky Lynch to win that fight, to win the championship at SummerSlam, but we're just going to have to wait and see. So with that said, Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
Yes. 2 3/4 to 3. I agree with the rating, without a doubt. Great, solid match here. Definitely better than the Asuka match. But I'll tell you what. I mean, the outcome was expected. I mean, this was a legitimately good match. Carmella always wrestles solid matches with Becky, and this was the best one yet. Great story. Carmella put a lot of effort here athletically. Becky was tremendous, and the finish was heartwarming. Mella has no shortage of critics, Michael Bullock and Dee Dee Woodson, but this was a good response to some of them. So, say what you want about her. I mean, I know Bullock and Dee Dee hate her guts just as much as they hate Alexa Bliss's guts on Raw. Fine, whatever. But, this was one of her better efforts. I mean, yes, there were times she tried to cheat to win, the feet on the ropes bit, but she lost her ace in the hole in Ellsworth, and now, the outcome. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt. We all had a feeling Becky was going to win. I definitely had a feeling Becky was going to win, and now you've got Becky Lynch squaring off against Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship in the SummerSlam. And yes, they did post that dirt sheet yesterday afternoon, the one that MF alluded to, about plans of that WWE wants to, get the women's titles off of both Carmella and Alexa Bliss. And I know that would bring a Cheshire Cat-like grin to the faces of Michael Bullock and Didi Woodson. But, we'll just have to wait and see about it. I mean, especially with the Evolution pay-per-view coming up in a few months, you definitely want to have the biggest names possible carrying those titles and not those two. But nonetheless, sleeper fight of the night. I wasn't sure what to expect going in, but they surpassed my expectations without a doubt. So well done. Congratulations, Becky Lynch. You got yourself a SmackDown Women's Championship match and an opportunity to become, I believe, a 3-time holder of the title. So, or is it a two? Actually, I think it's a 2-time holder of the title. So, because she was the inaugural champion, then she lost it to Alexa, and yeah, it is one. That's right. It would be her second run if she is to get it at SummerSlam, and I know that MF, well, all of us will be rooting for it, but I know MF will be rooting for it because of his mad love for Becky Lynch. We all know how much MF loves Becky since day one. And, of course, Bullock and Didi want it because they just hate Carmella's guts. So, and I know if we have a carbon copy of tonight, next month, Bullock and Didi, I know, will be breaking out the balloons and the party hats and maybe doing some cartwheels while we're at it. So, but we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. But for right now, sleeper fight of the night, 2 3/4 to 3. And I believe we give it to Bullock now. So Bullock, I mean, as if your night couldn't get any better. I mean, first Ellsworth gets the old heave-ho, and now Carmella taps out to her disarmer, and Becky gets her title shot. Long overdue.
Oh yeah, it was definitely long overdue for Becky Lynch. I mean, yeah, I'm glad she's going to be getting the title shot now, and will she win it? That remains to be seen. But yeah, as far as this match goes, 2 3/4 to 3 stars. I mean, I agree with everything you guys just said, so there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So let's move right along, Fletch.
All right, we had one more match of the evening, which was Sanity going up against the New Day. Let's see. And when it was all said and done, the New Day won the match at 7 minutes and 55 seconds. But then all hell broke loose. Next thing they know, the Usos, they jump up and they jump up on the apron, and then the next thing we know, don't look now, but Michael Bullock, they don't set the bar.
They are the bar.
They're back. Sheamus and Cesaro shows up. Where were you boys? It's been a minute. We missed you. But all of a sudden, all hell is broken loose, and it looks like now we got ourselves a little bit of a situation. 4 teams possibly making a claim for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I wonder. 4-way for the belts? Sanity, Usos, New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers? Yo, I like that. I like it a lot. I believe this goes to actually. All right, I lead off. As far as the match goes, I could give this about 2 stars, 2 1/4. This was not bad. Decent amount of time, not bad. Everybody played their roles pretty nicely. Nothing amazing. You got a nice little Xavier Woods and Biggie Langston. does a team up and hit the up, up, down, down for the victory on Alexander Wolf. But then you saw the Usos jump up. The Bar comes back, and they said that they could defeat the Usos next week, and that they would defeat the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. So now we got the Usos versus the Bar next week. Oh man. Oh man, are you ready? This is gotten interesting, folks. So, as many of you guys know, what happened is there's a tag team tournament going on for the next 3 weeks, and this was actually one of the big announcements from Paige. It's the next 3 weeks. So, this is semifinal number 1 that went down tonight. It was the New Day versus Sanity. Next week is the Bar and the Usos. The winners of that match will fight 2 weeks from tonight. And the winner of that match gets the tag team title match at SummerSlam. So, New Day has advanced. They're sitting pretty. They wait for next week. They wait the winners of next week, and they fight in 2 weeks. Oh man, this is gonna be fun, folks. This is gonna be interesting. I like it. 2.25 stars. Anthony, go.
2.5 stars, MF. Another quality match from these two. The Bar returning and the Usos on commentary alone made it even better. I mean, Usos and the Bar are no strangers. I mean, we all remember last November at the Survivor Series. We all remember what happened. That one of those champion versus champion matches. They were the tag team champions. You know, Usos were the Smackdown tag team champions. The Bar were the Raw tag team champions. They went at it in that champion match, and it was the Usos who came out on top on that night. But can the Usos do it again? I mean, these two are technically even if you really think about it. I mean, you could consider this somewhat of a rubber match. I mean, if you remember the 2016 Survivor Series, they were the final 2 teams in the tag team elimination match. The Bar won that. Last Survivor Series, of course, the Usos got their payback. So now we get a rubber match to see who goes up against the New Day for the opportunity to go up against the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship in the SummerSlam. So yeah, really nothing more to say here. So another quality match from New Day and Sanity. New Day moves on. So that's all I can say. So Bullock, what do we think? Is it going to be a fresh matchup with the New? Well, we've seen New Day and Bar go at it before, but are we going to get another New Day Uso classic for the right to go up against the Bludgeons in the SummerSlam?
I really don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But what was your rating on the match, Florio?
I gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah, that's where I was going with. Yeah, 2.5 stars is my rating on the match as well. I mean, yeah, I thought both teams looked good here, and nice win for the New Day, and now they move on to what's basically the finals. But now, who will they face? We're gonna find out next week when the Usos take on the Bar. So we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. So nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree. It's a 2.5 star match. Usos were at commentary throughout the match, which was hilarious listening to them portraying like Byron Saxton and not Corey Graves, but the other one. Name slips my mind right now. But yeah, it was hilarious listening to them going off over there, and then of course, the end of the match, that everybody getting involved. until the bar comes out, and now we have the stage set for what's going to happen next. So we'll see who's going to face New Day. Will it be the bar? Will it be the Usos? That's what we'll find out next week, and then march right on into SummerSlam with that. So not too much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
Main event segment of the show tonight was about the Miz and the family, the Mizanians. It's about their family because of the Miz and Mrs. The premiere was tonight on USA, and all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan comes out on Tron, and you could see that there was a little bit of a back and forth and whatnot going around, but let's just say it's gotten very interesting, to say the very least. So nothing more to say. Anthony, why don't you go right ahead? What did you think about this segment?
I have to make a correction. I'm going to say the Orton segment was the third best segment. I'm going to consider this the second best segment here because I just thought that AJ and Joe thing was just straight up brilliant. But this was just as much brilliant here. I mean, Miz is such an egotistical a-hole heel of huge proportions. And I'm honestly really looking forward to him and Daniel Bryan tearing it up. I mean, they still haven't made it official yet, but you got to believe soon enough we're gonna get it. We're gonna get the Miz and Daniel Bryan in the SummerSlam, and yeah, I mean, what really did it was, we thought that we thought that Little Monroe Sky was actually there, but it turned out to be a fake baby doll that he threw at Daniel Bryan, and then he laid him out with a skull-crushing finale. And, that's all I can say on that. Really done. Really well done. I mean, that whole thing with the fake baby doll, that was a stroke of genius right there. And you wonder why The Miz is right now, to me, the best heel in WWE today. Either show. I mean, just amazing. So, this delivered. This was like I said. I mean, I would have called this a segment of the night, but if it wasn't for that awesomeness with AJ and Joe, and and Paige getting rid of Ellsworth, I mean, we would have considered this the segment of the night. But I can only give it the second best segment of the night, even though it was just as good. So, yeah. Say what you want about The Miz, but he right now, to me, is the best heel right now in WWE right now. So and right now he took it another step up. So big ups to The Miz on another fantastic heel promo here. Well done. And all I can say is, let's make this official. Stop teasing us, guys. Make this official. Please. Next week. Anything. Please. Make it official so we can enjoy the hell out of it, because we know it's going to deliver. So it'll probably be maybe the second best fight on the SmackDown side behind AJ and Joe. So that's all I can say there. So second best segment of the night. Great way to close the show. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I mean, we couldn't believe this during the as we were wrapping up our SmackDown chat. I mean, we couldn't believe it. I mean, we couldn't believe the ending of that with that fake baby doll.
Yeah, I mean, we all couldn't believe it. I mean, this was the second best segment of the night, and like you said, The Miz right now is the best heel in WWE on either brand. I mean, it's almost like he wants you to hate him, and he's got a lot of haters right now, and he doesn't give a damn. And they were promoting, of course, that Miz and Mrs. Show, but Daniel Bryan threw a ruse and then showed the lowlights of The Miz, and then Daniel Bryan comes out and he beats up those Gestapo security guards, and then looks like he's gonna get some of the Miz, but we thought that their daughter was in the ring, but nope, it was the baby doll, and he kicks the Miz kicks Daniel Bryan, and then hits him with the skull crushing finale. I mean, I really thought that this was going to be the night that the match was made, but I mean, the thing is, we know the match is going to go down at SummerSlam. It's just a matter of when. I mean, I am really hoping that they make the match official next week. I mean, that's what my hope is. And I do agree with Florida. This is going to be the second best match at SummerSlam when it comes to Smackdown Live. So, second best segment of the night. Nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Okay, I guess this is because I'm a mom, but I guess out of everybody on this panel, I guess I'm the only one who could tell the minute that they walked out that was not a real baby that he was carrying. A real baby would not have been that still in that setting. So I knew that was not a real baby, and I knew something was up. I wasn't sure what it was until Daniel came out and he threw the doll at him. But you know, it was a very good segment. It was, I'm not a big fan of segments ending the shows, but this one actually was really good. Definitely led up very well to their TV show, which if you haven't seen it, you might want to, because it was pretty hilarious as well. I think my new favorite person in that family has to be Maurice's mom. So yeah, I'm not going to say too much more on it. Like I said, if you haven't seen the Ms. and Mrs. Make a Point DVR, watch it, whatever. It's pretty hilarious. So, Fletch, I'll toss it back to you.
It's now time for overall reviews. As always, I do it as an open mic on this one. So whoever wants it, it's yours, guys. All right, Florio jumps in first. What's the rating, Florio? What do you got?
7.5. I think is the best we can give it. I mean, those couple of cutouts obviously affected it, of course, but SmackDown Live again this week was a good show. It was focused, staying away from the filler. Randy Orton gave some explanation on his most recent heel turn. Andrade Cien Almas picked up a big win. The Rusev and Aiden English saga continues to brew. We got two wonderful matches locked in for the SummerSlam. Samoa Joe challenging AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, and Becky Lynch getting her SmackDown Women's title shot against Carmella. That's all penciled in for the SummerSlam, and they're building the tag team challengers, and they're continuing to set up Miz and Bryan. A good show that was easy to watch, and you had those couple of cutouts there. Joe destroying R-Truth and Asuka squashing Billie Kay. You take away those cutouts, I mean, then we would have been talking a much higher rating. But we had, I believe, 3 or 4 quality matches. I mean, I still feel Almas and Rusev was the fight of the night from my end, and a surprisingly good match with Becky and Carmella. I didn't really have high hopes going in, but they surprised me. That was the second best fight, and then rounding out the top 3 was the New Day and Sanity bout. Then you throw in those 2 really good segments, the 3 good segments there. 2 really good, 1 okay, not overly great, but it was fine for what it was. And yeah, but those 2 cutouts were the difference maker here. So I believe 7 to 7.5 is the best rating I can give this. So got it wrong, I don't care. So whoever wants it next, take it for a spin. Did I get the rating right? Should it have been lower? Should it have been higher? Bullock, what do you say?
I say it's just about right. I'm going to say the same thing and give it about 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I mean, SmackDown Live once again was the better show. I mean, Yeah, the cutouts did hurt, but you also had some good segments. You had some good matches in the progress. So yeah, I mean, SmackDown Live did once again rules the roost. So nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, it was definitely 7.5. There's not really other than those two matches. There's not a low point in the show. Even most of the backstage segment stuff was really good. Um, I would even say that the matches, well, at least the Becky Lynch Carmella match, even though we're still looking till October for this, I mean, you still had a lot of talk on SmackDown, and I'd say even right now we're already starting to build the storyline for that pay-per-view with setting up, if Carmella's going to lose this title or not, and so it's it's a buzz that everybody's going to be probably talking about all the way up to pay-per-view time. And of course, AJ referenced it during his segment. How he looks at his daughter because of that announcement. For her grasping her future now. Um, and even Maurice mentioned something about it. So I mean, this is going to be a talk that we're going to be hearing a lot of between now and October. And every match between now and October for these ladies counts. And even if they're building for the next pay-per-view, they're also building ahead for that one special pay-per-view that's just for them. So every match that we see on SmackDown, every match we see on Raw or NXT, whatever platform it is on WWE, is going to be having to do everything they can to build for that pay-per-view. So, not only are we watching them build for SummerSlam right now, we're watching them build for matches ahead of time as well. So this is going to be very crucial time for all the shows. But yeah, definitely SmackDown won this week, like they seem to have done a lot lately. But I still hand it to SmackDown. They are still better at the storyline building, better at giving us, like we had with Orton, the explanation of why he's attacking Jeff Hardy. Um, blaming the fans on that. Having the, Paige having these segments where she comes out for contract signings or comes out to deal with little weasels like Ellsworth or, whatever. She seems to handle them very, very well. And I think that's what's making her a good SmackDown GM, and the fact that she's taking whatever is thrown in front of her. And I mean, you could see she was stressed out, but she's still handling it very, very well. And as young as she is, that's saying a lot for her. And like I said, we had the two low points in the matches, but you DVR it, fast forward those 2 point parts, watch the show. It was very good. So Fletch, I toss it to you.
And for the SmackDown announcer, I'm going to say 7 out of 10. I agree with everybody's ratings. This was definitely a good show. Definitely was solid for what it was worth, and it worked out very well. Now the sky is the limit. That's all I can say about it. I'm hoping for the best and the whole 9 yards. And, well, that's it. So, it was a great evening. So we're gonna call it a night here. And Anthony, as always, you got your mic unmuted. So what's going down on Friday night and Strictly Sports?
Brandon Cooks signing an extension with the Los Angeles Rams. Darrelle Revis announcing his retirement. Kawhi Leonard traded to the Toronto Raptors. Carmelo Anthony signing with the Houston Rockets. Manny Machado traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the return of our Major League Baseball power rankings after our 1 week hiatus. So that all goes down Friday night, 10:30, Tone 25, Strictly Sports. Myself, MF Bullock. It's gonna be another fun show. Looking forward to it. So nothing more to say. MF, wrap it up.
All right, and we are gonna indeed. So thank you, Didi Whitson. Thank you, Michael Bullock. Thank you, Anthony Florio, as always. And we want to thank you guys, as always, for watching this and listening to it. As always, you guys are the best fans in the world. Like the video, share it with all your friends on all social media platforms. As always, we'll see you guys on Friday night for Strictly Sports. Of course, another edition of Ridiculously Raw on Monday night. And then, of course, 1 week from tonight, another edition of Cerebral Smack Talk. So until then, for all of us here, have a good night, everybody, and so long for now.